Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Have we completed the lesson?
Ma'am, you
Yes.
told that you explain the question
Tell
answer.
me where we are.
Ma'am, in question answer.
Are you listening me properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what we have done.
Ma'am, question number A we done.
A. Tick the correct answer.
No, ma'am, short define. Short answer question.
Which page number?
22.
Okay. We have done this question. Question and answer.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All the questions. Long answer question, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm giving the answer of this question in assignment Moodle.
Okay, ma'am.
Can we start new lesson?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I will give
Yes,
the
ma'am.
answer of long answer question in assignment. Is it clear?
Ma'am, an application based question.
And leave it. You have to, in this, we have to perform some activity and write answer. You can, if you want to do, you can read and try to do this. If you have any problem, you can ask me after any time.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Can we start new lesson?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, long answer.
Who is telling about long answer?
Ma'am,
Yes.
long answer questions.
I will give you the answer of long answer in Moodle assignment. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Lesson number 2, flower. Have you seen flower?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think about this? What is it? It's a beautiful part of a plant, right? It has different colors and having a good smell. Flowers has good smell. So look at the flower. A flower is a most beautiful and important part of plant. Different plants have different types of flower. In different plants, the structure of flower may change. Some common flowers are hibiscus rose, jasmine, sunflower, marigold, and lily, lotus, etc. There are many types of flowers. Flowers they develop from floral buds. They develop from buds. A flower is the reproductive part of the plant. It is the most important part of the plant because it is the reproductive part of the plant. From this, it produces seed and having germination by insect. So this is the most important part of the plant. It is attached to the stem by a stalk called a pedicel. Have a look at the structure of flower. Have a look. You have seen this colorful part of the plant. It may be pink, red, yellow. So this colorful part of flower is known as petal. What is it called? Petal, right? Here the part from which is attached to a stem or leaf, it is known as pedicle. What is it called? Pedicle. And
Pedicle.
yes, there is a green small leaves behind at the bottom of this colorful petal. It is known as sepal. What is it called? Sepal or calyx maybe it is called. Attached pedicle. A tip of the pedicle is swollen. Tip. There is a swollen part. This is the swollen part, having too much size from this to this. This part is known as thalamus. What is it called? Thalamus. Second part of the pedicle is known as thalamus. Yes. From here, other part of flower arise. From this part, different part of plant arise. Flowers that do not have pedicle are called sessile flowers. If there is absence of this pedicle, the flower is known as sessile. Now, different parts of flower. Each part of a flower is arranged in a whorl. There are 4 whorls in flower. They in a group, in a round shape. There are 4 groups in a flower. What are they? See, calyx. Calyx is the outermost whorl. There is a 4 round. Means first is calyx, then corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. These are the first whorl is calyx. It is the made up of sepal. This is then whole circle of this green leaves, small green leaves. Whole circle of these small green leaves is known as calyx. What is it called? Calyx. But a simple leaf is known as sepal. A single leaf is known as sepal. The whole circle is known as, whole part of is known as calyx. Sepals are small green leaves like part. There are 4 or 5 or more sepals in the flower. It may be 4 or 5 or more than 4 or 5. They protect the inner part of the flower during the bud stage. What happens when it is in bud stage? You have seen that it cover. These green leaves cover the flower. This is bud. There is a sepal and androecium, gynoecium inside this. So these green leaves protect the flower when they are in bud stage. After that, they grown up. They grown up and change into flower. They form this petal. So at the time, at the stage of bud, this green leaves, this sepal protect the bud. Then next is corolla. First green part is known as calyx and then other is corolla. What is it called? Corolla. Now see, corolla is the second inner word. Suppose first is green, calyx is there, then corolla.
Ma'am, your voice is not coming clear.
Check your instrument. Right? The second word is corolla. It is made up of petal. The all colorful part, all beautiful part, red, pink, yellow, are petals. And collectively these petals are known as corolla. petals are the white or colored attractive part of the flower. When the flower opens, the brightly colored petals attract insect or blood for pollination. When the flower opens, the brightly colored petals attract insect. They attract insect and insect sit here on this petal. And for what? To take pollens from the here. We will see this part. For pollination, the petals of some flowers have a natural fragrance. It means they have smell. They have a beautiful smell. This is the second word of flower is known as corolla. First is calyx, which is green part of the flower, and individually it is known as sepal. Second word is corolla, and individually it is known as petal. The third one is androecium. What is it called? Androecium. Androecium is the third inner wall of a flower. It is this part, androecium, is inside this petal. They are inside the petal. So there are two different figure is given
Okay,
here.
Google.
Anther. It lies inner to the petals. They are inner to the petals. It is made up of stamen. What they are have? They have stamens. Look here. What is stamen? Here is a single and figure of. Look here.
Hmm.
This is anther. Anther having. There are generally 4-5 stamens. This type of structure may be 4 or 5. In a different flower has the number of different stamens. Stamens are the male reproductive part of the flower. They are also known as male reproductive part of flower. See, it is known as stamen. What is it called? Stamen. Oh, sorry, the whole part is known as stamen, but this is anther. And this is filament, a tube-like structure. This tube-like structure is known as filament, and at the top of the filament it has anther. Each stamen has a filament and an anther. A filament is a thin thread-like structure. Filament has a thin thread-like structure. It bears the anther on its top. Look here. We have done this. I will make you another example. See. This whole part is known as stamen. And this is known as,
Ma'am, your voice is not coming clear.
and this is filament. How many students are not listening my voice properly?
मैम मेरे को तो सही आ रही है.
Then
मैम मुझे सही नहीं आ रही.
check your instrument. See, this is anther and this is filament. Filament is a thin thread-like structure. It's a thin thread-like structure. It bears the anther. It bears at the top of this filament. It has anther, and the anther contains pollen sac. This whole part is known as anther, and these lobes are known as pollen sac. What are they called? Pollen sac. As the name given, these pollen sacs has filled with pollen grains. they are having pollen grains. Some dot-like structures, some this. In this pollen sacs, they have small part in it, and it is known as pollens. See, take a flower and remove all part one by one. You will see this structure. You will see this structure. This structure. The pollen sacs are filled with pollen grains. Pollen grains look like a yellow powdery substance. It is powder-like substance and yellow in color. What is the color of pollens? Having yellow color.
Yellow.
Yes. They contain the male gametes. In these pollens, they have male gametes, male reproductive cell. This is the third wall and third part of the flower. Pollen grains have a tough protective covering that prevents them from drying. They have a protecting covering on them to protect themselves. This is the third part of the flower. It is clear to you? It is clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The fourth part of flower is gynoecium. What is it called? Gynoecium. The fourth part of and this is also known as female reproductive part. Female reproductive part of the flower. Gynoecium is the fourth and innermost wall. See, first is petals cover. First is sepal, then petals, anther, and in the innermost it has gynoecium. There are four layers. First is sepal. First is sepal, then petal, androecium,
Abhishek,
and
to to zero.
gynoecium. This is the four layer of different part of flower. Here is gynoecium. Have a look at gynoecium.
मैम
Yes.
मैम ये आपका आप लिख रहे हो वो सही नहीं आ रहा है वीडियो.
Now it is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
See, there are different parts of gynoecium. First is stigma, then style,
हाँ बोल.
see, the pistil is the filament, the whole. Just like stamen, there is a female reproductive part is known as pistil. Pistil is the female reproductive part of a flower. It consists of ovary, style, and stigma. Ovary, style, and stigma. There is three parts of pistil: ovary, style, and stigma. The top part of pistil is
Your voice is not coming properly.
the top part of pistil is called stigma. This is the top one, and it is known as stigma. It is a sticky, rough, and hairy.
Ma'am, your voice in video is not coming properly.
To whom? Who is saying this? How many students are not seeing me properly?
मैम I am also.
What is
मैम
the
आपका
problem?
वीडियो क्लियर
You have to see board only. Look at the board. This is the stigma. It has some sticky substance and it is rough. It is not smooth. It is rough, having rough surface and hairy. It has some small, very small hair-like structure. Hairy, sticky, rough, and hairy. What is the characteristic of this?
मैम your voice is coming clear.
What should I do?
मैम आपकी आवाज सही
See, stigma is rough, sticky, and hairy.
राजीव जी
What is the special character of stigma? It is rough, sticky, and hairy. It receives pollen grains during pollination. When when the pollination take place, it receives pollens from. There is a pollen sac is there. What happen? Sometimes the same pollen grains stick on this stigma, but sometimes insect sit on the stigma and leave some pollens at the base of this stigma. It receives pollens. It is the male reproductive part and this is female reproductive part. It receives pollen grains during pollination. The middle part of the pistil is called a style. This is called style and this connect to the ovary. The first end is connect to the ovary and second end is connect to the stigma. It is a tube-like structure. It also transfers the male gamete to the ovary. From here, this pollens from this way go to the ovary, reach to the ovary. The function of style is what? It transfers the pollens to the ovary. The swollen part at the base of the pistil is called the ovary. This is the swollen part. At the base of the pistil is called ovary. It contains tiny structure called ovules. This is the tiny structure and these are known as ovule. These are known as ovules. These ovules contain the female gametes and these ovules has female gametes. What they have? Female gamete. And from pollens they receive male gametes. This is the structure of flower. Have a look. Can we revise it? If you have any problem, you can ask. Yes? Anyone have? What happened? If you want to ask something,
No, ma'am.
nothing?
No, ma'am.
Okay. This is all about the different parts of flower. Now the topic is types of flower. Here is a figure given in your book on page number 25. Label the given diagram of a flower. Can you label them? Tell me, what are the names of different part of the flower? Kindly tell.
मैम आपकी आवाज क्लियर नहीं आ रही है.
You do this activity in your notebook. It is clear? Draw this flower. Page number 25. Page number 25. Label the given diagram of flower correctly. Can you name it? Yes?
मैम आपकी आवाज क्लियर नहीं आ रही है.
Yes?
Yes.
You have a diagram on page number 25 and there is a question. Label the given diagram of flower correctly. You have to label. What is the?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Label the given diagram of a flower correctly. Can you label it?
No मैम.
No, ma'am. Why?
Yes.
You have a see. Look at the flower. Here is a. This is the flower. Are you seeing this? You have
Yes मैम.
You have to name
Yes,
only
ma'am.
part of flower. You can see here. This green
Yes.
colorful part is petal. This is stigma. This is anther. Then style, ovary,
मैम ओके.
thalamus. Different parts of the flower. Draw this flower and label the parts of flower. Right?
Yes.
मैम.
Yes,
Thank you मैम.
Okay. The next topic, type of flower, we will see in our next class. Can we see it? Complete and incomplete flower. See, types of flower. There are two types of flower.
Flower.
Okay, complete and incomplete flower. A flower that has all four walls. It means calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. If a flower has all four parts of this, then it is called complete flower. What are the four parts of flower? What are the four parts of flower?
Calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium.
If a flower,
Yes मैम. This only.
if a flower has all these four parts, it is known as complete flower. And the example of
Yes.
complete flower are China rose, mustard and pea. It means in this flowers they have all four part or all four walls. A flower that has one or more walls missing is called an incomplete flower. If any part of flower missing in any flower, then it is called incomplete flower. What is it called? Incomplete flower. Examples are date, palm and mulberry. These are the
Okay मैम.
examples of incomplete flower. These are the example of incomplete flower. The next topic we will take in next class. Right? If you have any problem, you can ask. Kindly tell me what are the four parts of the flower? Four parts.
Complete and incomplete flower.
Complete and incomplete flower. Flower. See, complete and incomplete flower. Complete,
Sexual and bisexual flower.
incomplete flower. Incomplete flower. Flower has all four walls like calyx, corolla, endoecium, and
Huh?
gynoecium. Yes, if a flower has all four walls, what are the four walls? One calyx, corolla, endoecium, and gynoecium. If flower has all four walls, it is known as complete flower. In a flower, any one of is missing. It may be missing of calyx, maybe corolla, endoecium, or gynoecium. Any one of four parts is missing, then the flower is known as incomplete flower. Give example and write the define in your notebook.
China rose, mustard and pea.
Mustard and pea are the example of complete flower. And the example of incomplete flower are
Date, palm and mulberry.
mulberry. Right? Note down
Yes.
the define of complete flower with example and incomplete flower with example. Here is a unisexual and bisexual flower. We will see this topic in our next class, right?
Yes.
Okay. If you have any problem, you can ask. Kindly tell me the different parts of stamen. What are the different part of stamen? Yes. What are the different parts of stamen? See. This is anther, filament. These are pollen sacs and having pollens in them. What they have? They have pollens. These are the different part of stamen. Clear? Now tell me what are the different part of pistil. What is pistil and different parts of pistil? Yes? Tell me. What is the different part of pistil? See. This is stigma, which is rough, hairy, and sticky. This is style. A long tube-like structure is known as style. This is called ovary. What is it? Ovary.
Ovary.
Ovary contains ovule. Right? And here some sticky substances is there. When some insects sit here or with the help of air or by anyone, pollens reach to the stigma. This is the female reproductive part of plant, and this part is known as pistil. What is it called? Pistil.
Pistil.
Yes. These are the different parts of flower. And we have seen the complete and incomplete flower. A flower which has all four words like calyx, corolla, endoecium and gynoecium is called complete flower. And the example are China rose, mustard and pea. In incomplete flower, one or more word is missing is called incomplete flower. And the example of
Red
incomplete
palm
flower
and
are,
mulberry.
yes, kindly read it and learn all the different parts of the flower and their characteristics. We will see unisexual and bisexual flowers in our next class. Is it clear? If you want to ask any question, you can ask.
Yes.
Okay. Learn these different parts. I will ask in next class and prepare it very well. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Because last 1 minute is left there.